the mic, talking day and spilling life, from trending memes to wildest dreams. Girl, did you hear that crazy thing? Girl, did you hear what's going down? We're lighting up this whole damn town. Strange and trending every week. Bestie vibes that'll never peak.
Bro, could you ever do that?
Go into a dumpster? Sure.
For that type of stuff?
For that type of stuff? No. It's
What would
It's
you
gotta
go
be-
into a dumpster for
what would
then?
you dumpster dive for? You get into it and it's just basically free Epcot. It was Disney Springs,
Oh my God.
which is this huge mall.
I've seen the signs for that. I've never
in
been.
Orlando. Oh my gosh, dude. It was so much fun. I want to convince you to watch that Netflix documentary Trainwreck, the Pooh Cruise.
Yes.
And I am always looking for reasons to justify why we shouldn't go on cruises, and this one was great because it was gross.
They went
biohazard
around,
bags.
yeah, handing out red bags to people.
and said that
This is your poop bag. Food supplies
you don't have
unlimited.
access to food.
You have
Yeah.
no place. There's no lights. So even when you are pooping wherever that is that you choose, it's in the pitch black dark
It's
unless
in
it's
the dark.
daylight.
Yep.
Hey guys, welcome to Girl Did You Hear?
The ultimate bestie hangout. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Kristen. Today is episode 46.
46.
Woo woo. We are trucking right along
Yeah,
to
we are.
50.
It's nice.
I know, we're almost there.
Dang, dude.
Today I wanted to give a quick update on my stinky armpit situation.
Oh yeah, your BO debacles.
Which will tie in nicely with what we're going to talk about as we transition.
I didn't even
You'll
think
see.
of that. That was great.
You'll see. So as you guys know, in previous episode, I've been on the journey of aluminum free, all natural deodorant that still smells good and I feel like is actually working.
Right.
And Salt and Stone was not good.
No. That's the one that we had to get off.
Yeah. Immediately.
Yeah.
A Suave version was mediocre.
Right.
But I found this one called Salt Air. I was meant to bring it downstairs so I can show you, but I'll pop in a little picture of what it looks like.
There
It's
we
a
go.
cute little package.
Smells good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The scent that I got was called Pink Beach. And it smells very beachy, coconutty, and I love those smells because I'm a beach person, love the water. And so like those types of smells just make me like feel good.
Right.
You know? So I like to get that kind of stuff. So I tried this one 2-pack on Amazon for $20.
Not
I was
bad.
like, I could deal with that.
It's about the same price as in the
Yeah.
stores.
It's all natural, no aluminum, vegan free, cruelty free.
Vegan free.
That's what it says.
It's free
I mean,
vegans.
It's vegan. It's vegan, not vegan free. Vegan, just vegan. It's cruelty free and gluten free, which I didn't know was even a thing in deodorants. No parabens, all that stuff, right?
Nice.
Yeah. And when I was looking on their website, the things are refillable.
Oh, that's cool.
You can buy.
So you don't have to just throw away more
Yes,
plastic.
for only $8.
Hey.
Yes, and their containers that they come in are made of recyclable
Plastics.
materials, so they're also recyclable,
Right.
which is nice.
Right.
So they're very like, all about the
Conscious
environment and
of
stuff like
the-
that.
yeah,
Which
yeah.
is really, really cool. And if you buy from their website, it's only $12 for like one thing,
I see.
which is nice too,
Nice.
because that's not that expensive. I can pay $12
yeah,
or
there's,
the 2 for $20.
there's some in stores that cost more than that.
Yeah, exactly. I paid more for that for one stick before.
Right.
I paid $20 for the Salt and Stone one.
Dang.
Yeah,
That's a lot to
I returned
like,
it.
go through. You returned it?
Yes,
All right.
it was an option.
Well, yeah, I guess. But like in my brain, I'm like, what are they going to do with it?
I mean, that's not my problem.
Like,
Sorry for the next person that gets that one.
Whoops.
I wiped
Whoa.
off. I
Scraped
wiped-
off the top for
I
you?
just like wiped a little. I mean, I
Oh,
only
you're
did
so
one little,
generous. I don't
thing.
think they're going to resell it.
No, probably not.
I hope
They probably can't.
I hope they wouldn't resell it.
Have you seen all the people that go dumpster diving in like the Sephora dumpsters
yeah.
and stuff and Ulta for the like left? Bro, could you ever do that
Go into a dumpster? Sure.
for that type of stuff?
For that type of stuff? No. It's
What would
It's
you
gotta
go
be-
into a dumpster for
what would
then?
you dumpster dive for? It's got to be like at the back of a Harley dealership, and there's like Harley parts
Okay,
inside, or
that's
like
fair.
the back of a golf pro shop, and there's a
Yeah.
bunch of like golf clubs and other golf.
Yeah, I
gear
wouldn't
inside.
Go
Like
for
I wouldn't
Sephora
go
stuff.
for makeup.
No.
No, because that just kind of skeezes me out. Because I know, just because I've been told through everything else that my makeup's dirty anyways,
Yeah.
and it's expired and it's rotting off my face or whatever the case may be. That stuff I try and keep as hygienic as possible.
Yeah.
So the thought of getting like lipstick out of a dumpster
Not-
skeezes me
yeah.
out a little bit.
You know, sometimes like the workers like pour the stuff
They
out.
have to trash it
That's so crazy.
because of dumpster divers.
That's insane, dude. That's insane to me that's a thing. And the people will sometimes, the dumpster divers of these products will sometimes resell them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
You got to be careful about what you buy on Amazon.
Yeah, or like Facebook Marketplace when people have like, you know, 10 bottles of the freaking Sol de Janeiro,
Yeah.
and you're like, where did you get all of those? And they're
Why
selling
do
them for
you have
$25 a pop.
So many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
No.
No, thank you. So I'm really happy with that deodorant. It's called Salt Air.
By Juva Beach.
Yes. They have different scents. They also have like hair care products, body care products like scrubs, lotions, body washes, all of that type of stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. I think I'm going to order some other products and try them out.
Oh,
Yes.
got you hooked. Yes. Speaking of salt air and beaches,
Yes.
Florida was amazing.
Yes. You just came back from a salty
Salt
place.
air.
Salty
Yeah.
air. I love it though.
It was
Isn't
great.
it so nice?
It
Like
was really pretty.
when you walk out of the airport in Florida and like you smell that like humid, salty air. You guys flew into Tampa, right?
Mhm.
Love that airport. Super easy, nice and clean.
Yeah, very one stretch.
Yes.
Like we even found ourselves on our flight back. Got a little dyslexic and we were supposed to be at gate 34, not 43.
Oops.
Yeah. So we're
It
like,
happens.
oh, so we had to like last passengers on the plane. We're like, thanks for not leaving without us. But we made it. It was great. Like,
Hell
and,
yeah.
I mean, it was just a simple, like, we're both tired. It was like, I wasn't feeling 100%. Like, it was just,
Yeah.
I mean, no harm, no foul, nothing went awry. It was just a brisk walk.
Yeah. Have you ever had to run through the airport to like catch your flight?
That was the closest
Yeah.
I've ever had.
Trevor and I have had to run one time. When we were actually going from
I think if I had a layover, I think we had a layover once where we had to like hustle to
that's
the next
what our
one.
situation was too.
Yeah.
It was when we were going to Pat and Raven's wedding.
Ah,
And we had a very small layover
the
in,
flight was delayed.
I don't even remember where it was at. We weren't delayed, but we had just a very small window.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like it was a 45-minute layover.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's not enough time.
But what airport was it? I want to say it was Houston. It was a big airport, and we had to like go all the way to the other side. And we had the dogs with us, and it was a lot.
That's too much.
It was stressful.
No, I loved it. We did like a little Harley-Davidson dealership tour. We picked out Harley-Davidson dealerships around us and went to like one in Lakeland.
I love that you guys do all of that.
That's so much fun, dude. Like rep the brand. It was
Hell
cool
yeah.
stuff. But we went to one in Lakeland, learned a little bit about the lore, the reason why, because like every city kind of has its thing.
Mm-hmm.
Lakeland had swans,
Mhm.
and we learned that the reason why there were swans everywhere is because the Queen of England
Yeah.
came down and left Lakeland some swans.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
So we made it a point to end up with a Harley t-shirt with
Love that.
the swans on the back of it. And then we also went to Crystal River.
So pretty there.
Tried to see the manatees, but it's not manatee season.
Nope.
No, which is fine.
You have to go in the winter.
Interesting. I was wondering. So we kind of drove through there, grabbed swag from that one.
Isn't it so pretty in the Crystal River area?
It is. It's
Oh,
very
I love it. Like in the the springs and the water is so clear.
Mhm.
Dude, all of the Florida springs in like central and northern Florida are all like that.
Right. I want to go
It's
back and
so pretty.
ride the river because they're like, oh, this is like the world's natural lazy river.
Yes.
And I'm like, let's do it.
Yes. When we were living in the RV, that was one place that we never went to, but it was like always like on our list. We just never made it to there.
Right.
But when Trevor was getting his scuba instructor certification, I was driving him. It was just like, where were we? We were up in High Springs, which is like central northern Florida. They call it like cave country because there's a lot of scuba diving caves up there.
Yeah.
But there was like this little national park area or whatever that I went to one morning after I dropped him off. And it was so freaking pretty. I'll have to show you a video of it on my phone because like the water was just so clear and there was just trees everywhere. And they're like the big like mossy trees that like have all this stuff like hanging down.
The Spanish moss.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love those trees. I don't know why, but they're just so cool to me. And there was like this like morning fog like on the water. Ooh. And it just looked so like majestic.
So
and,
magic.
Like, yeah, it was so cool. And like, I don't know, it's just a vibe out there.
Man.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I'm glad you got to experience other parts
We did
as well.
Well, I mean, like
Because you guys went all over like a little zigzag.
We figured out that, you know, kind of as you're driving around, you know, once you get to one place, well, one place isn't that far away.
Yeah.
So
We just gotta keep
we did. We kind of
leapfrogging.
kept pushing forward. We got to the point to where we got to Orlando, and we were looking for the Harley-Davidson dealership in Orlando.
And you ended up, so you were staying, you flew into Tampa.
We flew into Tampa.
And then you were staying in Zephyr Hills.
Staying in
right?
Zephyr Hills, which is such a cute little town.
Yeah, and that's not very far from Tampa.
No, it's only
but
about 30
Tampa's like
minutes.
over here, and Orlando's like up over here.
Yeah,
so you
so
guys
it's
drove across
like
the state.
Zephyr Hills is really kind of more
Central?
inland, right?
Okay, from Tampa.
And then,
yeah.
you know, so we were looking for the dealership. The map put us in this huge parking garage, and we're like, weird. Why would there be a Harley dealership in here? So we like stop, ask the guy. He's like, yeah, Harley's inside, and we're like, oh, okay. No, like Harley's in the mall, and we're like, okay,
Okay.
that's weird.
This is new.
Why would there be Harley in the mall? That
Yeah.
makes no sense. Because I didn't put two and two together. Like I've been in Harley-Davidson stores in Las Vegas where all they sell is just apparel and swag and
that
all
type
that
of
kind of
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah.
Right. There's no bikes.
Right.
I mean,
It's
there's
not
bikes
like-
to like take pictures on and stuff, but there's no bikes for sale. There's no
Right.
service department. They're just like apparel locations.
Yes.
So I didn't put two and two together that that's possibly what we were walking up on. So we like walked through this huge security line. Like, oh my gosh, what are we getting into? Fort Knox
Jesus.
here? Like, I even freaked out a little. I'm like, oh gosh, I have my vape on me. I got to put it in the car.
Oh shit.
And he's like, yeah, okay, good idea. Because I saw them going through bags and
Oh,
stuff.
fuck.
But they only go through the bags of like the people bringing in strollers and stuff. Duh. So anyways, it wouldn't have mattered.
Okay.
I was just being cautious.
Yes,
Didn't want to get my
smart.
stuff taken away because why put yourself in that situation?
Exactly.
So we crest this little escalator and we get into it, and it's just basically free Epcot. It was Disney Springs,
Oh my god.
which is this huge mall.
I've seen the signs for that. I've never
in
been.
Orlando. Oh my gosh, dude. It was so much fun.
I want to go.
I mean, the first place we landed was Harley, so it was great. We got that out of the way. This is the Orlando shirt. But it was, I mean, you have like Disney stores all
Everywhere.
dotted throughout, like Oakley and Nike and H&M and like
Everything.
You have a T-Rex cafe, which is where I went and built a Build-A-Bear.
Your little dinosaur
My
Build-A-Bear.
Dinosaur Build-A-Bear. Dude, I have never felt such like a child. It was such a cool experience.
I love that.
And Mrs. Lemon is the best.
That type of stuff, though, like you have to do as an adult. Like
Right.
when we went to
I've never built a bear
Universal
as an
Studio,
adult. Yeah.
me either. But when we went to Universal like years ago with the kids, I felt like a little kid at Universal Studios
Isn't that
all
fun?
over again, and it was so much fun.
I mean, it was great that it was shopping too, because that's right up my alley.
Hell
And it was
yeah.
just this huge mall, and it was like each place had its own little like, you know, we stopped at like an Irish pub and had drinks just to kind of like slow down before we actually had to walk all the way back to the car, sort of
Right.
thing, because you're just pounding.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's
you
a
are
lot of
getting your
walking.
steps in.
Yeah, yeah. It was not something I anticipated, but something I also anticipated.
Right. That's so fun.
But it was.
You guys had such a fun adventure.
Yeah,
I'm so happy for you.
it was good. It was a good time,
We all need to take like a
dude.
combined trip.
Are you
out there
kidding me? That would be so much fun.
with my brother?
We need to plan it.
Dude, there's an Airbnb right down the street at one of my brother's houses that he has out there. The second house that's on the canal in Sarasota where the boat is. There's an Airbnb down the street from that house.
Dang.
That we always stay at.
That would
Because
be-
it's right there.
It's easy. Yeah, it's just
And it's
right there.
literally like we could walk or drive the 2 minutes. Not even 2 minutes there.
Yeah.
It's like 7 houses down the street. It's perfect.
It is perfect.
That would be so much fun though. We should try to plan that.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Agreed. What we're not gonna do though.
Is go on a cruise.
Yeah. F that.
Man. So I convinced you to watch that Netflix documentary Trainwreck, the Poo Cruise.
Yes.
And I am always looking for reasons to justify why we shouldn't go on cruises. And this one was great because it was gross.
It was gross.
Feel so bad for those people. I
Me
mean,
too.
Granted, this happened back in 2013.
So it's a while ago.
So it's been a while ago. The ship's been repainted, renamed. It's gone on several
Still in
cruises
use.
there
Yeah, no
afterwards. Like
issues.
nobody, it's just carrying the bad publicity of
Yeah.
times past. But dude, could you imagine?
I don't know what I would do. Okay, so these people go on this cruise. It's a short little cruise.
It's a carnival
It's a little
cruise.
2-day cruise.
So it's like 2 days out, they get to Cozumel,
Yeah.
stay in Cozumel, like part in Cozumel for an afternoon, and then it's like a day back.
Yeah.
So the boat goes out for the 2 days. They get to Cozumel. Everything's fine.
They're partying.
They're partying, having
Everyone's
a good
great.
time.
Mhm.
And then they get back on the boat from Cozumel and are on their way back to the States. And that's
And
when everything shuts down.
Yeah. A fire happened first.
Right.
And then the little loudspeaker agent lady, I forget her name.
Oh,
What was her name? Jan or
Oh,
look it up real quick.
Vacation Barbie.
Yeah. She was like the announcer lady of like the ship, and she was just very like bubbly and just had like a good personality, and like people just like called her by her name, but she was also like around the ship like as a human interacting like with people and stuff, like with the guests and everything. But she was part of the documentary,
Yeah.
and you know, she had to make the announcement that over the loudspeaker that everything's fine when there's a fire going on. I'm like, would you stay calm if you saw the fire going on? Would you stay calm with that announcement, or would you start freaking out?
That's hard.
It
That's
is
really
hard because people on the ship, like
they put you at ease. They're like, okay, everything is fine. When
and then
realistically,
they tried to like go back to normalcy, and then the power went out.
right.
That's probably when I would be like, oh fuck.
I think that's when everybody was like, oh fuck, because when the power goes out, the whole ship goes down.
They're just
The propulsion
sitting.
systems.
Yeah, nothing. Nothing.
It affects everything.
No fridge.
Like no lights, no cooling system. So all the food goes to
Yep.
waste. And also the toilets stop working
Yep.
because they needed electricity to flush the toilets.
Yes.
So that was like the first point of emergency.
Yes.
They came up with a little plan just so that you could go number 1 in the shower and number 2 in little red bags. Like
They went
biohazard
around,
bags.
yeah, handing out red bags to people.
And said that like
That
you like
this is your poop bag. Here is your.
it made me
poop
think
bag.
of like when I walk my dog.
Yes, dude, I literally thought of that, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" But it was funny. So the people that were like in the documentary was like this group of like girls that were on the ship for a bachelorette party, and then it was like this guy who was like on vacation with his fiance's family, who he didn't know really well, and he was trying to like get to know his family well, or get to know her family well,
Right.
and so he was like already kind of like apprehensive about like his fiance's dad like liking him, you know?
Right.
And the whole time I'm watching this, I'm just thinking, man, like what a great bonding experience for them. Also, I can't like whoever gets to listen to the wedding toasts at that wedding.
Oh my gosh.
I can't imagine like what they would be like, because I would definitely be incorporating
dropping
that
some
story.
lines about
Yeah. And what was funny at the end of that, I don't know if you noticed, but they had like the little
She gave her
Yes.
bridesmaids gifts and biohazard
and
bags.
the poop bags.
Yeah.
I was like, that's so funny.
But like, it's so sad to think that if everything fails while you're out there, you're just toast.
Yeah.
You're just stuck.
They were
Because
out there for 4 days.
4 days.
Yeah.
Like there's no, but like the little girl mentioned when the fire happened, there's no firefighters coming to rescue you.
No.
Like everything that you have, all the resources you have to survive are on that ship.
Yeah.
And you better hope they're all working as designed.
Yeah.
Because what took the electricity out was the fire, burned up the power cables. Basically, there was no hope of getting electricity back online.
No.
And just the watching kind of how society handled itself, all 4,000 passengers,
Yep.
the, children of the flies mentality of hoarding food, and these are my people, and this is my space.
Yes.
And these are like
people went into survival mode
quick. Well, you kind of have to.
I mean, yeah, you do, but like you also don't have to be like a complete asshole or dick or whatever. I mean
that's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah, you probably do. Like in like an apocalypse situation, yes.
Which
on a
is kind of
stranded
what you're
cruise
in,
ship,
though, dude.
I don't know.
Because you don't know. They've been telling you, okay, the tugboat's going to come at noon. Oh, wait, no, the tugboat's not going to come from Mexico. Now it's coming from Alabama. Oh, and it's also going to be 3 days. Oh, but also, wait, please poop in these bags. And then,
here's your lettuce and tomato soggy sandwich.
Right. Like, here's
at
the
least,
lack
though,
of
like
food.
that cook that was in the show, you know, he tried.
Right.
Like people weren't happy with their lettuce and tomato sandwich, but like at least
That's all they had.
At least he tried to
Right,
do
right.
something.
I
to
love the
help
little
these people.
drive-by of the fellow crews.
I know. And everyone was trying to get like
Woo!
cell service.
And they're like, I need reception.
and that cruise ship probably had no idea
that they were stranded.
that they're just stranded there.
Did. Well, they gave them supplies, so they did. But I'm sure the people on the boat probably weren't keyed into the fact that they were stranded there.
No, not at all. I don't know what I would do in that situation. What a wild experience, though.
Right.
I think I would probably...
Would you use the red bag?
I mean, if I absolutely had to.
Or would you do what other people did and just disgrace the rules and shit in the toilet, further causing issues when the tugboat's hooked on and everything tilted, making a bigger mess for everyone?
That was bad. Like...
It's hard.
What did people think was
everybody
going to happen, though, if they chose to not use the poop bag and use the toilets, even though they weren't flushing?
Right.
Like,
one guy in that documentary said he found working toilets.
I don't know how that's possible.
Right. So
That didn't make sense to me.
He just probably found one that wasn't as full.
Yeah. Because the cook was like telling that there was like layers. Could you imagine?
Like lasagna.
Yeah, bro.
No, I couldn't.
Toilet paper and poop lasagna layers.
The fact that they came up and like were living in the hallways and on the deck.
That everyone's pulling their mattresses out.
Right.
Well,
right.
it was so they had no power, so there was no circulation, no AC.
No
so I can
air
only
movement.
imagine it's hot AF on that freaking cruise ship in those small like little hallways and no airflow, no nothing.
Dude, it's hot AF in my air conditioned house right now.
Yes, it's hot in my upstairs room. I was just telling you before we started filming how hot it was in my house.
Right.
Same thing, but yeah, like, I mean, I would definitely do that. I would try to make the most of it for sure.
Right.
Have you ever been in a situation where you had to like survive like that?
Fortunately enough, no.
I don't think I have either. Can't say that I have.
No. I have
Nothing's coming to
food
mind.
rations to be
so-
prepared for that situation, and I've got
Yeah.
bags to go sort of thing, but I've never had to like live off of water out of a bathtub because we have a
No.
power outage too long or a blackout or something like
Have
that.
you ever gone camping or like lived off grid for an extended period of time?
Not more than just a couple days.
Yeah.
I
Same.
mean,
One of the first times we went out in the RVs, we were off grid completely for like a solid week.
dang.
I mean, we had Starlink.
Well, right.
So we weren't.
And you were running
we
off
had
of
internet.
battery power.
And we had generators.
Right.
And in our RVs, we could hold water in our tanks. So we had to ration that and make sure, so we didn't have to like leave to
Right.
go dump and then refill our tanks, But I mean, that was cool.
Just to see if you could do it.
Well, they were exploring this like cave area
Right.
while scuba diving, and it just happened to be on someone's property.
So you're
There's
just
a sinkhole, so yeah, most of the ones that they dive are sinkholes, dude.
Well, yeah, because like sinkholes in Florida will fill up full of water because sea level and stuff. It blew my mind while we were out there, and I'm like, I know this is a dumb question, but I was like, Chad, do you think there'll ever be a point where we're below sea level? And he goes, yeah, I do. And I'm like, okay. So I'm watching like the altimeter in our drive the entire time, and we get down there's like 15 feet above sea level, 37 feet above sea level, and it wasn't until we went out in the Gulf where he's like, see, now we're below sea level.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh. Yeah.
You're like, oh. But like, you don't really think about that type of stuff.
Not when you're a mile high. No, ma'am. Are you kidding me? I'm kissing clouds up here compared to the way it is down there.
Yeah.
Lord.
So
Like,
different.
the air is heavy, and it's because it's got so much moisture.
Yep.
And there's like more of it.
Mm-hmm. It is heavy air.
Like I'm like,
You do get used to it though, I will
Yeah.
say, for sure.
I mean, Chad acclimated right away. Drug me down just a little bit.
It kind of, I mean, yeah, it can get you at first. Especially, I mean, you guys went at like a really hot time too.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
It's summer.
June.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. But, oh man, Florida's great.
It rained every day. The storms were great.
Yeah, the afternoons, thunder showers.
Thunderstorms.
Yeah.
The day we left, the day we left, a Colorado man got struck by lightning on Clearwater Beach.
I saw someone got struck by lightning on that beach, but I didn't know he was from Colorado.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because like the day we got to Clearwater, it was overcasty, kind of sunny. And I mean, that's the way it was for the whole trip. It was
Yeah.
nice. The sun came out when we didn't want it. The sun stayed away when we did.
Right?
So we got a little bit of sun when we were playing around in the Gulf of America.
I just call it the Gulf.
When we were playing around in the Gulf.
The Gulf of Mexico, okay?
Wait.
Jesus, I'm just kidding.
It says on the maps.
Not my map.
I asked myself, I'm like, does it feel different? No, it doesn't. It doesn't feel different. But yeah, we had a little bit of sun while we were playing out in the Gulf, and then came back in because our dinner reservations were for sunset, which was gorgeous. Oh my gosh.
The sunsets out there are so pretty.
Epic. And you get both.
Mhm.
If you're, because in Clearwater, I got the sunrise and the sunset.
Some places you can.
Yeah.
Yes, some
I was
places
like,
you can.
this is pretty.
Yeah, some places you definitely can.
Because our flight was at like
In the
crack of dawn.
Keys, you could drive to one side of the island and watch the sunrise.
Right.
And then in the evening on the other side of the island.
Watch the sunset.
Mhm.
Whew, that's pretty.
Yeah,
It's gorgeous country out there.
it is.
And I mean, and it feels, it doesn't feel like home, but it feels very homey.
Yeah.
Like it could be a home.
Ooh.
I don't know. We need to explore some more.
And is this a new 5-year plan?
Who makes 5-year plans?
I don't know. No one.
But it sounds like it, yeah. I mean, it's an ambition for sure.
Hell yeah. Love that.
Mhm.
We need to take a trip out there so we can show you guys some cool areas
Yeah, right? Let's do it.
and explore. And there's just so many cool little towns out there.
There is.
Like, I'm like, oh, I could live here.
I could live here. I know.
Like,
We were looking at real estate, and like
Every
every
time we're
place
out there, we look at
stopped,
real
we're like,
estate, dude.
Zillow, they're like, oh, did
Yes.
you realize you can buy a house for dirt cheap out here? Yeah.
yes, you can.
Give it 2
In
seconds,
some places,
and it's underwater,
you
dude.
can.
Ugh.
Hey, there's a lot of preventative measures. My brother's parents have lived on Sarasota Bay for, I don't know,
Years and years.
many years.
Mhm.
Longer than 20 years. Okay.
Oh.
I will say. I will assume longer than 20 years. And they've been through many hurricanes. And they have,
Survived each one.
yes.
Yeah.
And their house has survived. And I mean, yeah, some houses don't, or they get, if you're just in that right line. But I will say, like, you're there but you're not there, like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
risk, but it's not something that's like that would ever inhibit me from ever living there.
Right.
I mean, we sat out freaking hurricanes in our RV
Yeah.
and
no.
tornado
You
warnings
went
in
and,
our
like,
RV.
Chased them at
We
some
did.
point. Like
We
I
did.
don't.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, for the poop cruise, I'm glad that it didn't rain on them while they were just stranded out there.
It did.
It did?
Yeah.
I didn't see that part.
The day that the tugboats hooked up, the
Oh,
weather
shit,
went to
you're
shit.
right.
And that's what caused like the poop rain.
Yes,
Well,
you're right.
That and the fact that the boat was on a
Yeah. Oh God,
tilt.
I could not imagine Trevor on that. He would just be throwing up everywhere. He wouldn't be able to handle the smell, dude. Like
I can't even handle the smell now, and I'm not even there. Like,
man. I will say the people that were in the documentary handled it like champs, like in the way that they explained it,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I mean, like, what a great comical story on the other side of it.
Right. Like, I love how they appreciated the crew
Yes.
and like celebrated them for being the
Yeah.
ones that like made this happen and got this through.
Yeah.
Or got them through this sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Because, I mean, what was really interesting to me and what I don't know how to say without sounding like an ass, but like, I think that like a lot of people that work in cruise ships and like in like those like 5-star hotels, like, you know, Four Seasons and stuff like that.
The one we stayed at.
Those types of places have very high standards for how their guests
Employees.
are treated
Yep.
and how their employees treat their guests. And I will say that probably like, this is a wild guess, let's say 75% of the employees at Carnival Cruise Lines are not American.
No.
They're from around the world.
Correct.
And it's something that I've noticed, and I think that people in other countries have a better
Higher
understanding.
hospitality level.
Yes,
Yeah.
bro. They understand what customer service actually is, and like they take pride in that, like genuinely.
I think that's kind of a hospitality industry.
And well, it is an industry, yes, but you don't
Standard,
see
almost.
many Americans working in that type of industry.
Fair.
And I'm not saying that to like shun on Americans because I am one.
I mean, we went to a
But I'm
resort
just
in
saying
Clearwater,
that, like-
and it was a resort. I mean, I got a little wristband and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Hyatt, but it was still like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
oh, you can charge stuff off to the room. Here's this bar, this bar, this bar. Like it, and there was still like all the people made me feel special. I got a
Mm-hmm.
sangria in the beginning of it. Like, I get it. There are those people who are in that version of it here, and I imagine they are Americans, but like we don't have those kind of destinations. I don't feel like we have a lot of those places here that require that level of hospitality.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know. It's just something I've noticed, like culturally, right? Like even
You think everybody else has got it better?
no, not necessarily that. Not that
Not
like
that they got it better, but they understand.
I think
it.
they understand better. Like, and the reason I say that is because the lady, what is her name? Did you look it up?
I couldn't.
The
find
announcer
it.
later. Okay, we'll try to figure it out. It
Who
begins
else?
with a J, I believe.
Yeah.
Jenny,
I don't
Judy,
know. Yeah,
Janet. I don't know.
she was some British lady.
Yes, but she. I just lost my train of thought. Fuck.
But she's the one holding people together. She's the one that's
She
like, hey,
was.
here's
She
the
was
deal.
trying to come up with plans.
Like, I love the fact that she was kind of the glue, the one that was telling people, hey, I get it. These are dismal situations. You know, hey, good morning. I hope you got some sleep considering what we're all going through. Like, I mean, she was next level.
Yeah, she
was handling 4,000 passengers in crisis.
Yeah. And she did a really, really good job. And it was nice to see that she and the other crew were
Celebrated
for that.
Absolutely.
What I wanted to say about her was that she made a comment, you know, she's like, these people are here. She's like, these Americans are here, you know,
Just to have a good time.
just to have a good time.
And
And
it's
we're
our
and
job
it's
to
our
facilitate
job to
that.
facilitate that and make that happen for them. And like that statement right there
I see
is
what you're saying.
exactly
Makes you think.
yes.
Yeah.
But I see that come from more people that are not American than American. I see that like that understanding through their actions and stuff like that in a cultural aspect more so than in America. And I'm not saying that America is shitty or that we don't do that in places out here, because there are really good places that do have amazing customer service and give you that same experience or feeling or whatever. I'm just saying it's something that I've noticed
Right.
on a cultural level.
Right.
Even going back to, I've lived in a lot of places that have melting pots of different cultures,
Right,
and
you
I've
lived in New
seen
York,
a
for
lot of
Christ's sake.
things, you
Yeah.
know, and experienced a lot of different things. And even comparing to Instacart,
Yeah, that's fair.
like a lot of my Instacart drivers in Florida were like Cuban or Dominican or of some other ethnicity.
Yeah, we were just talking about this. And the
And
customer service is a little bit better.
Yes. And they, like, a lot of them, some of them didn't speak good English. Some of them, you know, you could tell like we're stumbling through, but like they went out of their way a little bit more than people did here.
To get you the better produce.
Yes. And they appreciate like my niceness more. They appreciate the better tip more.
Right.
Because like they just have a better understanding on how to like deliver good service.
That's
I
fair.
think, you know, and I don't know if it's a cultural thing or what. It was just something that I noticed.
Well, I mean, you've got your finger on the pulse of something.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You and your grocery orders.
I don't know. Just saying. Anyways, I never really had a desire to go on a cruise. I think maybe when I was younger, I would have if I had the opportunity. But I don't even really have a desire now. Like, I thought at one point it would be cool because you get to like go to all these little countries like in one little trip, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like the idea of being stuck on a boat for like a full 24 hours with thousands of strangers.
Yeah.
I don't like that idea.
But there's something to do everywhere you turn. And think of
Yeah.
the unlimited ice cream.
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
sure the entertainment is there. Like it's very desirable
and
for
I
a
get
lot
that
of
this
people.
situation was a very like one-off. Well, I mean, not one-off. There was several cruise ships that caught fire, and
Yes.
you know, this problem was it was what it was. I mean, I'm going to jump off track of what I was going to say. The part that kills me the most is that they couldn't sue. It was in the ticket.
Yes.
It was in the ticket.
But
That is wild to
Yeah.
me. I mean, that right there just makes me not want to go on a cruise. If they don't give it a flying
I don't think that's
French
still in
toast
there
about
now.
my well-being. Yeah, I'm sure it's worded a little nicer now.
I'm sure airline tickets are probably the same
way. You know, I get it. I mean,
I mean, if you ever read the freaking waiver for the Patty when we filmed the bounty hunting show, if you ever read that waiver, you'd be like, maybe not. But like some of that stuff sometimes has to be
right. It has to
like
be in there. You can't
explicit.
sue me because this
Right.
something can happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm sure airlines have some sort of
Similar
Yeah.
situation.
But that guy, the attorney, what was
The
his
maritime
name?
law lawyer.
Frank Spagnoletti.
Spagnoletti?
Is that his name?
I don't know.
Something like that.
It just sounded fun to say.
He went to bat for a lot of people
Which is great.
and
I mean,
was able to get some things changed within the, I think not just Carnival, but cruise lines in general.
just like the cruise system.
industry.
Yeah, industry. There we go.
And I don't know exactly what it was, but at the end of the show, I'm pretty sure Carnival did say like they gave people.
I wrote that down. The aftermath. $500 payment.
Yeah.
Full expenses refund.
Yes.
Full expenses paid. Refund
Yes.
for transportation expenses. And then, get this, a free cruise.
Yes.
If you ever want to try us again.
Just give us another shot. We won't give you any poop bags this time.
No poop bags this time. Only biohazard if you're puking, guys.
Yes.
You're great.
But all in all,
Sounds like,
they did a good job. I'm gonna flip this in a positive way.
yeah, absolutely.
They did a great job in
They did
in handling a crazy situation like
Yeah.
that, you know? So hands up to them. I'm happy that like it probably could have gone a lot worse. Like had one person, and who knows, maybe this did happen, but I don't think it
One
did.
person died.
No, if one person just absolutely lost their mind and then ended up taking 20 other people down with them and brainwashing them, and then there's a whole fucking weird frenzy on a cruise ship. You know, like in those
Yeah.
situations, you don't know how people are going to react.
You
and
can't trust the mob.
you don't have food.
No.
food supplies
You don't have
unlimited.
access to food.
You have
Yeah.
no place. There's no lights. So even when you are pooping wherever that is that you choose, it's in the pitch black dark unless
in
it's
the dark.
daylight.
Yep. Well,
know
not
what I
even then,
mean?
because if you're in the ship, it's still dark.
Yeah, exactly. And so like that's a lot of variables to like put on someone. So the fact that nobody had like a mental moment.
Meant to be. Yeah.
Yeah, and held their composure for the most part.
The fact that the crew held the composure for the most
Yeah.
part, because a lot of people are leaning on the crew to keep them like, you're here for me.
Yeah.
And the crew's like, shoot, this is my job.
And they did a great job.
They did.
Hats off to them.
Dude, the couple hours that they opened up the bar for free. That was a bad idea.
Get everybody drunk.
That was a bad idea.
Get everybody drunk. It'll be fine.
Celebrate. Never mind.
No, it's close. It's close.
Complete record scratch.
Bad choice. Bad choice.
Yeah. Never mind.
Go eat your lettuce and tomato sandwich now.
Back in your room.
Anyways.
Oh, that was a good one.
All
So,
right.
Go on cruises if you dare.
If you dare. You could bring your own poop bag just in case.
Oh.
Could you imagine?
No.
Just bring a whole roll of like your
I
dog's
don't
poop
even
bags
like
with you.
Picking up my dog's poop. No.
Oh. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe.
Like and
We
subscribe.
do appreciate your support. If you have anything you want to comment about or share with us today, please let us know. Drop it in the comments. Yeah, drop it down there. We will reply to you if we see it and it's nice. If it's not nice, we'll ignore you. Just kidding.
It's the power of the internet.
Pretty much. Anyways, make sure you tune in next week and we'll see you then.
See you then.
Bye-bye. Bye.